Hello, hello once again to the people of the land. I would just like to start by encouraging everyone out there to begin a regimented practice of personal enlightenment through the practice of meditation. You can do this practice. You can get started on this practice with 3 minutes, and you can start doing that today. Okay? So you begin today doing a practice of meditation with 3 minutes. You keep that going 3 times this week. Then you keep that going over the course of 3 months, right? And after that period of time, it is my hypothesis that you will then be committed and locked in to a path of eventual enlightenment, I suppose you could say, somewhat of an ability to be aware, to raise your consciousness, and that is a way for you to get started. There are many other ways, okay? There are many other ways. I do not have a monopoly on suggesting ways that you could possibly improve your situation, okay? There's lots of other ways it can be done, but this is one. And it's an accessible one. It has a low barrier to entry. Any human being can do it. You don't need to go away to a meditation retreat. You don't need to hire a fucking guru. You don't need to fly down to the jungle. You don't need special medicines. You don't need special fucking magical elixirs. You don't need any of that. Some of those things can be good, and that's great. But for now, you can actually just begin with these words I'm saying. Begin your meditation practice today with 3 minutes. That alone, that alone will put you into the fucking upper echelon of human beings. So that's kind of what you're working with. You begin with that. And you can actually then start to become aware of the kind of unconscious patterns that are really just running your whole program. Like your whole fucking program is just dirt, 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 and you're just fucking derping around from one thing to the next. Just a leaf in the wind. Just in reaction to stimulus, in reaction to circumstances. That's kind of what's happening. I know, because I was like that too. Most people are. 90% are. You can say 80. 80 is fair, I guess. 80% are. Why do you think the world's fucked up? I mean, not to be in like a negative way. Like there's lots of wonderful things about the like natural life, the natural like nature, like even our species has created wonderful things like electricity, fucking architecture, art, like a functioning like society where you can at least like walk down the street without getting like dragged away by some fucking barbarians on horseback. Like those things are nice, like, and they are good, and we should be grateful for them and we should be thankful for them. But there are still ways that we can improve massively, and we don't want to just deny those. We don't want to just like shut our eyes and be like, no, I don't want to hear that. Because if we just do that, if we just shut our eyes to things, this whole society will just fucking fall apart. Like it could easily fall apart, easily. Like we have things that are so severely fucking out of balance that yes, we are kind of functioning now and the electricity stays on and we haven't had like a major world war in a fucking several decades. Like but it's very, very tedious. Like, we could very easily fucking fall apart. Like, it wouldn't take that much. So you have to look at this now and be like, okay, so what's my job? Think about that. What's my job? Your job is not to fucking parade around and fucking shame everybody and call everybody fucking names and everybody's bad and everybody's mean and meh, meh, meh. That's not helping anyone. I know it might be convenient and it might feel good to do that, and you have the right to do that if you so choose, but I wouldn't really recommend you think that's a good, like, it's like, I would view that more as indulgence. It's more like drinking too much or watching fucking fantasy films. Like, you're just kind of doing something because you like it. But if you actually want to start to play a part in like balancing out this fucking society and like becoming more aware of who you can be, you yourself actually need to begin to look at your own personal fucking experience and your own personal existence, your own emotions, your own thoughts, your own presence. And you need to strengthen that shit, right? You need to grow that stuff and strengthen it. And that is only going to happen by you fucking becoming more mindful of your own present engagement with reality. That's how it's going to work, and it's going to be messy, and it's not going to fit into any little tiny fucking box that someone told you it would. And it's certainly not able to be outsourced. You cannot fucking just hope that someone else is going to do it for you, and you cannot just experience your reality in relationship to someone else. Like, you can never, ever, 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 ever get validation from another fucking person. Holy shit. No, it doesn't work. Fuck. It's a fucking empty, empty fucking path. There's nothing at all down there. You're never going to be able to fucking feel good because of the opinion of someone else. Fuck. That is a pointless endeavor. You can feel enjoyment at your interaction with a person. Like, you can feel like good emotions, I suppose, by like engaging with like your friend or engaging with like your grandmother or something. Like, yes, you can do that, and that's great, and you should do that. You should enjoy the experience of being with someone. But you're not going to be able to like get validation by getting a bunch of likes on your fucking Instagram picture. You're not going to be able to get validation by finally, like, because you like went to the cool club and got let in, then you feel validation and good, right? Because that's going to immediately fade. That's just going to fade right away because the whole thing's perverted. For example, I think Flex Wheeler, the bodybuilder, I think he came in like second place several times behind Ronnie Coleman, and I think Dorian Yates too. So this guy's a legendary bodybuilder. Anyway, he was on London Real recently. He did an interview, and he's a massive guy. He's a bodybuilder, and he used to be a bouncer at like an exclusive nightclub in Los Angeles, right? Like, very exclusive, really only celebrities can get in. Like, and so he was a bouncer there, and he was saying that, like, he's like, it was a perverted sense of authority that he gained by denying people entry. He was saying how they almost like would get a little high off it, like denying people, like, no, no. And he said the real big high one day was when they denied entry to Jennifer Lopez, right? This was like back in the 90s when she wasn't really that famous yet. She was like just a dancer. They denied her and said no. And he said, well, they all got like, yeah, really high off it. But then he goes on to explain where it's like he himself was like brutally like depressed and suicidal, and like he tried to commit suicide and all kinds of shit. So he said that was the energy he was engaging with. So that energy then came across him at the club denying people entry. getting this little filthy high of situational confidence, trying to like feel validation off like you're fucking stupid and not allowed in, therefore I feel good. And see how that was empty? See how that never benefited him? And he himself, deep down, when he really took time to look, realized he was broken and suicidal. Right? So and so what if he did let you in? Right? What if he did let you in the club? And then you got a little feeling of like, oh good, they let me in, I'm so cool. But see how your experience of that, your feelings were based upon someone's opinion of you, and that person themselves was broken and suicidal. Right? So he was broken inside, and he was getting little filthy highs off denying Jennifer Lopez and letting in someone else. So if he let you in, you got a little high, but it was from his broken place. So you yourself got a weirdo, broken little high. And what about Jennifer Lopez? So she got denied access. He got a filthy little high. And then what happened several years later? Jennifer Lopez became a fucking superstar. So what was the point? So he got a little high. We didn't let her in. Okay, but 5 years later, she's one of the most famous people on fucking earth. And a fucking multi-millionaire. So who gives a fuck what you think, right? You see how those things never pay off? They're stupid. Like, it's fucking stupid. Don't let yourself get wrapped up in that. And it can be difficult at first because most people, 80% of people or so, that's their whole life, right? Their whole life is just based on their experience in relation to other people. That's what they do. That's just how they experience everything. This is how I feel in relation to other people. I hope that these people like me. I hope that this works out. I hope that I can get accepted to this school. I hope that I am able to fucking hope that that person wants to fucking marry me. Da 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 da. And that's why people feel so fucking empty and stupid, and the society falls apart, and there's mass shootings and fucking pill addiction and bullshit and mainstream television and lies, and everyone's fucked up and stupid and overweight. And well, of course. Why would you be surprised? Of course it's like that. The whole thing is fucked. So until we actually fix the root issue, it's never going to matter how much you shuffle around the fucking deck chairs. How much you try to be like, everyone's special, everyone's equal, everyone should get around, get along. Well, it doesn't matter how much you do that, because most people are still fucked up and broken, so they're always going to be damaging other people. And so you want to understand that, all right, 80% of the fucking input you have, 80% of the fucking television shit you watch, the media you ingest, the food ingest, the people you're around, 80% of that, if not 90, if not 100, realistically. Okay, we'll work with 80 because I like that number. I feel like it's a little more fucking humane. So 80% is fucked up and stupid, and you need to stop right away. Like right away. Like when I tell people, like sometimes I'll be talking to someone and they'll be like, well, this is my situation here. And like, I wonder what's going on with this. And I'm like, that's fucking stupid. Stop it right away. Never behave like that again, ever. And never ever speak to that person ever again. They're fucking dead to you now. That's the end of it. And it's like, that's so jarring to someone. They're just like, well, that, and I suppose, I admit that maybe I'm a bit of a fucking savage. And I admit that maybe there's a more nuanced way to go about it. Right? And that's a valid comment. But the core, the fundamental is still true. It's like that way of behaving is not serving you and you have to alter it. Right? Maybe you stumble a couple of times. Maybe you try to quit smoking cigarettes and you do, and then you relapse and you smoke cigarettes a couple more times, but you eventually figure it out and you stop. All right, I mean, I can dig that. Like, yeah, it happens. I get that. But you need to fucking make massive, radical fucking action. Like massive action right the fuck away. Because you don't understand how precarious your situation is. You don't understand how unlikely it is you're ever going to get your shit together. Years will just fucking drift on by. Just drift by. Just drift right by. And you'll still be sitting there thinking about when you should maybe quit smoking cigarettes. That's why you have to fucking massively, radically fucking make the decision like this instant and embrace the horror of it all. Like, so it's a good thing. When you quit smoking cigarettes, that's like you've had your finger in a dam. So when you take that out, the shit's going to start spraying out. So you accept that that's going to happen. And that could go on for months, that could go on for years, and you just have to accept the reality that that shit's going to be like those emotions, that pain, that old trauma that you've been hiding is going to be fucking blowing out of you and transforming you into someone different. That's your fucking life. Like, that's your life. That's going to be your experience. That's what you need to do. So why are you sitting around just hiding that? You're hiding from your own life. That's not living. You're fucking dead already. Like, you're a zombie. In fact, you'd be better off dead, because at least then you'd be more in sync with like the universal law of things. At this point, you're just a zombie. You're just like a robotic zombie. It's pointless. You're not doing anything. And it's like there's not gonna be be like some way easier answer. Like, you can listen to more of like a Zen community kind of like monk kind of guy, like spiritual teacher guy, that's a little more like subtle, or a little more like everyone's just dust and everyone's just light. We're all light. And you can, and maybe that's good for you, and that there's a place for that, and that's cool, and I like some of that stuff. Like, I like Eckhart Tolle, and he's pretty like mellow and stuff, and he's hardcore. He's still hardcore, and so maybe you should listen to that, right? But at some point, you're still gonna face the fucking brutal truth of what I'm saying, and B, there's a lot of people who don't really resonate with that, and maybe they'll resonate more with what I'm saying. So I think it's a win-win, which I like. Win-wins are good. And so that's one thing. The other thing is actually win-win. That's a good concept there. That's from Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. There's one that people often forget. There's win-lose, which is like I win and you lose. So I'm taking something from you. There's lose-win, where it's like you're fucking taking something from me. Ugh. There's win-win, where we both get something. It's like I sell you something that you really want, and you give me money, which I really want, and we're both like happy about it. But there's one other one that people often forget, which I think is an important one. Win-win or no deal, right? No deal. Either it's win-win or there's no deal here, right? I'm not going to go win-lose. I'm not going to fucking win and you lose. That's weird. What am I going to do? Sell you a fucking broken car? And then I get the money and you get a fucking broken car? Well, that's weird. Something's going to be fucking stupid about that. Lose-win. What are you going to do? You sell me a broken car? You fucking idiot. I'm not doing that. Win-win. Okay, that's awesome. Where I sell you a car that you really want and then I get the money and then we're both happy. That's cool. Or there's win-win or no deal, right? It's like either we make this deal right here, or we're not doing it. There's no deal, and we're moving on. So be willing for that one. Be willing for win-win or no deal. I like that one. So yeah. But overall, do your meditation. If there's not like the goal, I guess, because I think we're halfway through the month today. I think there's 2, 3, 4. I guess there's maybe like 4 or 5 people who are definitely doing the like meditation challenge. One of those guys was already doing meditation, but he's, I guess, committed even more so now. So there's like 4 or 5 people that are doing the challenge or doing the regular meditation. So I guess the goal for the end of this month, the end of these sessions, would be, I guess, 10 people. To have 10 people doing this. That'd be cool. That's 10 actual real human beings that are becoming created. That's pretty crazy. Like, really. I mean, really, that's pretty good. 10 human beings. That would be cool to create, to actually become like somewhat enlightened or somewhat on this path. That'd be awesome. So that's kind of the goal, I think, for me anyway. That's my goal for this month of live stream / YouTube vids. So I'm going to do my hour today because that's how I get down. I'm going to do, what did I do yesterday? Solar plexus, right? I think I did solar plexus yesterday, so today I'm going to do heart chakra. Yeah. That's going to be serious. Heart chakra. Last time I did heart chakra, It was pretty intense. I was digging it. Just an hour, just sit back, blast off an hour. Fuck. Yeah, it was good. And that's what's up. You just get in there. You just do it. Why would you not do it? It's like I don't know how many other ways I can say it, but yeah, meditation. That's what you need. That's your number one fucking thing. That's your main priority. You need to make that a priority. You need to make your success and enlightenment and personal satisfaction and like self-reflection and awareness and consciousness. You need to make that a very high priority and realize that there is no escape. Like you've got nowhere else to go. Where are you going to go? You can't escape. You got to run this life out. You got to run this life into the ground. You know what I mean? You're already here. It's too late. It's too bad. Maybe it would have been nice for you to go back before you were born and decide not to. That might have been nice. Maybe, right? Maybe that would have been cool. Maybe that would have been for the best. But it didn't happen. That didn't happen for you. It's too late for that. You're already here. So you gotta get your shit together and run this motherfucker out, because that's how it works. You don't stop. You're like, look at a shark. What does a shark do? Does it just one day stop? No, it keeps moving. Keeps moving, keeps eating, keeps fucking doing its thing. That's like you. You're like a shark. You're like a fucking lion. You're like a wolf. You keep at it. You're a part of nature. You got to get more in tune with natural way of things, right? Most people are way out of tune with that. They're way out of tune. And that's why they're all messed up, and that's why they're not satisfied. Is a lion not satisfied? A lion's always satisfied because maybe it gets hungry, maybe whatever, but it's always doing its thing. It's always trying to be a lion. It's always trying to grow a bigger mane, to hunt more fucking, or whatever it does. Actually, I don't think the lions actually hunt. The lionesses hunt. Well, then good. He's trying to get more lionesses on his team, right? He's just always trying to do his thing. And so that's what happens. People don't do that. They stop doing their thing, and then they kind of think that it can be replaced by like a car or like validation from some organization. It's like that. No, you can't do that. It's not going to work. Like, but people do, and they constantly chase validation. Oh my God. You get unhinged from that. Create the validation from within. Create the satisfaction from within. Embrace that. Lean into the resistance, especially of like social pressure. If you're getting social pressure from your family or from your friends or from a wife or husband or whoever who's like, you have to behave like this, you have to do like that, you need to start leaning into that and be like, I don't actually think I do have to do that. Like, I don't think that I do. Like, are you gonna make me? Like, are you gonna physically make me behave like that? No? Okay, well, I don't think I'm gonna do it then. And start really embracing that, being like, I'm not fucking doing that. Like, honestly, I was thinking about this the other day. Like, that's what I would have told myself at like an earlier age. Say if I talked to myself at like age 10, and I could talk to myself at age 10. And I was like, hey man, like, hey Luke, like, what's going on here? Like, how are you feeling? Like, how are you doing? And I would have said at age 10, I've been like, well, this shit is mostly stupid. I probably wouldn't have been swearing as much. I probably would have looked like a young Brad Pitt with less swearing. But I can remember even now looking back, I was always thinking like in school and stuff, I was like, this is fucking stupid. Like, why? Like, this is boring. Like, this is dumb. Like, this fucking stupid schools don't really know anything. Like, I'm not feeling stimulated by this. I'm not feeling like engaged by any of this. Like, I don't want to sit here in this stupid room and listen to these people. I want to go run in the fields. I want to go do pull-ups. I want to play soccer. I don't want to be around some of these people. Like, some of these people are idiots. Like, this whole system is stupid. Like, your guys' whole program is stupid. A lot of the ways that this society's run doesn't make any sense, and you're just trying to like force me into it. Like, this is really stupid. Really, it is. Like, and I'm not gonna fucking follow along with this, right? Because later I'm just gonna have to fix it anyway. So if I was saying that, I would say to myself now, or like if I took myself now and said to that person at 10, I would literally tell that person, like, you're 100% right. Like, you're 100% right. Like, that's absolutely true. And if you deny all this now at age 10 and give yourself over to like the society's narrative, you're just going to be ruined. It's going to ruin you because the society will always ruin you. That's what it does. Mainstream society ruins people. That's its job. So either that will happen, or B, which is what, well, both happen, but B, what I'm doing now is just having to go back anyway to age 10 and being like starting over from there and just being like, okay, cool, actually, you were right. You were right at age 10. That's true. So, no, that's what you'll have to end up doing. Most people, that's what you'll have to end up doing. You'll have to end up going back to whatever age you stop listening to yourself and re-engage. What's up, Agent Q, brother? How you doing, man? So, you are going to need to go back to whatever age you feel like you abandoned yourself. And you're going to have to go back and be like, no, man, like, you were right. Like, it's cool. Like, the ways that you were thinking were cool. And so that's what I would tell myself. I would tell myself, like, hey, man, if you don't want to listen, like, if you're sitting in a classroom and you don't feel like that this is a good use of your time, and you don't feel like maybe the like state mandated mediocrity that they're fucking pouring on you is working for you, you should say that, right? And you should say that, and no matter what the consequences, you should live with that. And so I would literally say to that guy, like, yeah, no, fucking this is stupid. And I'm not feeling that this is, why am I listening to this random like state employee? It's not good enough. They're not filling me with valuable enough knowledge. So I'm not listening, and whatever you have to do, you should do it, right? But I'm not going to listen to that. Go call the police, right? I don't give a fuck. I'm 10 years old. This is my opinion. You guys need to fuck right off. And you know what? Maybe it would take a few years. Maybe it would take a few years until I was at an age where I could like sign their papers or whatever and be like, shut the fuck up. Like, this is stupid. You guys are idiots. You're just wasting my time. That's really what I would say, really. Like, I really would. Like, if I had access to myself at 10, I'd be like, this is fucking stupid. I would say just spend time at the library reading books, spend time in nature, working out, find very high value people to spend your time around, start eating healthy, and ignore generally the mainstream society. Just ignore that narrative and really find a way to gain strength from that. Like, that's what you want to do. So that's my opinion. That's what I would do. That's what I'm saying. That's life. That's the way it goes. Please, anyone, feel free to hit me up if you're doing the meditation. If you want to look, all the videos that I'm doing here, I'm also putting on YouTube. You can search it Mindful Development. Just type it into YouTube and you'll see it. And you can watch them there too. If you want to begin your practice of meditation, I suggest you do it today. I suggest you do it immediately. Literally fucking turn this video off and do it now. I'm going to do mine. I'm going to do mine a little later. I do mine in the afternoons. I do mine like actually right around supper time. That's when I do mine every day. That seems to work for me. I do it at supper time. That's good for me. As soon as I get home, I bang it off. I crush it. Then I carry on with whatever needs to be done because that's how I get down, because I'm a full-time baller and I'm a full-time boss. Thank you, everybody, for checking this out. Do what you got to do. Make sure you do it well. Peace out.